We're live.
We live?
Yep, we're live. Yeah.
We live.
We live?
Yeah, we live.
I just told you we're live.
You supposed to say you surprised. And you knew
I'm trying to see. I can't even see if we live. Peace, love, and black empowerment. Welcome back to Mile High News, family. This is episode 28, our live episode for Facebook. What's up?
Yeah, what's up, Facebook world?
Yes, we just want to come back to y'all and we want to holler at our family and see what's been going on with y'all. This is our first episode back together since I think at least about almost 2 months. So, we're happy to be back. We got the Mile High Newsers in the house, and we just want to thank all the viewers, thank everybody for the support and the love. I want to thank the donators and supporters for the Unity community. I want to send a special shout out to Miss Freddie Johnson, who, man, let me tell y'all, this sister, she said, she was kind of finicky about, sending money online. And, I can't blame her for that either, but, she said, brother, if you meet me at Home Depot, she said, I'll help you out. And, I thought she was going to buy maybe 5 or 10 posts for us. And y'all, she bought like 50 posts.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate the sister. Big ups to Miss Freddie Johnson. Thank y'all. I wish I could put her picture up, but it's live, so I can't put her picture up. But yeah, that's what we need. You know what I'm saying? We need that support. We need that love, especially for what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it by myself. You know what I'm saying? So tonight we're going to talk about. I want to talk about the right kind of man. And a lot of times when we go to this and this stuff happens, you know what I'm saying? It's we don't get the right kind of mad. You know what I'm saying? We get the kind of mad that we've been getting since, the 60s and probably earlier than that, It's time for us to really do something that's going to make a change, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying to not defend yourself, especially in these times, you know what I'm saying? Get it with them. But, we need to do something that's going to be, game changer for this generation of people, you know what I'm saying? For our people. So, you know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build a black community to get away from this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because either or, fam, even if we defend ourselves and get back with them or not, this kind of stuff is still going to happen. And we're just going to have to face that until we do something major about it. And, major is going to be separating ourselves. Major is going to be finally creating something where we can be safe and we can build for ourselves, for our future, for our generation. You know what I'm saying? And nobody else is trying to do that. Nobody else is trying to think about the future of our people. What are we going to do, fam? What are we going to do? And we have to really think about, we can get mad, of course. Definitely we're mad about what happened to the brother George and rest in peace and, to his family and everything like that. But, it's really time to do something to change these things. You know what I'm saying? We need to build our own communities. And what I'm trying to do is not just going to be in Colorado. I want this to be, nationwide, to where we have a safe place and a safe haven everywhere in the country. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not safe here, fam. A lot of people think that we are not safe here. We are at war. A war has been waged on us, and we have no defense mechanisms. Of course, we can defend our families and those close to us, but how are we going to defend us as a people is what we have to start thinking about. You know what I'm saying? So definitely. Next up, so we got our sister Melly Queen, and she's going to be touching on Brother George as well, and about how we need to come together. So Sister Melly Queen.
Thank you, Brother Noble. Peace and black power to everyone. I want to send a shout out to all black media platforms as always. Y'all are doing a great job. Keep giving us the information, the truth. Salute to all the Mile High teams. here and they're doing their job, killing us. We have got to come to a consensus that we are tired of this shit and we need to come together as a people and start building institutions that can get us out of it. It makes no sense that we running down the street while they shooting tear gas and rubber bullets at us. They want you to act that way so they can have a reason. They didn't even have a reason to kill Brother Joe. But they want a reason to kill as many of us as they want to. It's time out for this ignorance, this stupidity. We've been at home almost 2 months. We ought to have master gourmet chefs. We ought to have scholars just falling out the woodwork. We ought to have people that know how to do whatever we need to have. Stop sitting around holding on to that damn Bible because it ain't going to stop no bullets. Our children are suffering every day. What are we going to do? We're going to keep crying and complaining and not putting in the work that needs to be done? It makes no sense at all. We have to put in the necessary work to make the changes that we need to make. Go back to eating natural. Go back to living natural. Teach yourselves. Read. Stop sitting around waiting on this shit to open back up. Who cares if it opens back up? When you go out there, you're going to either get killed by a pig or that goddamn virus. Stop making dumb decisions and not thinking about the future for our children. I'm tired. I don't even want to focus on the adults anymore because y'all act like y'all lost y'all mind. Our children need us. What do you think they're doing? Y'all teaching them to hold on to their Bible. Stop being ignorant. Stop playing the victim and do what you need to do. We need our own communities. We need to come together and protect each other, protect our children. And we cannot do that with all this dumb shit that y'all are investing in. Start investing in us, in yourselves. Look at yourself in the mirror and just look at yourself in the mirror. How long you gonna keep on playing this game? I'm out. I'm focused on these babies. And I can't keep playing this game with y'all like this. Y'all need to make a decision in your heads. Quit playing like little kids. Y'all are grown adults, and y'all still playing like y'all out here playing, skipping jacks or something. These people are calculating, murderers. And unless you're ready to go out there and kill one of them, sit down somewhere. I love y'all. Black Power.
That's right. That's right. Black Power, Sister Melly. Definitely. So, yeah, we need to really focus on trying to do something else. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing all this going on in Minnesota. And, you know, I don't blame them. I don't blame y'all for getting rowdy and turning up. But, you know, we always see the end of that. And what's the end of that? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's not too much that changes. So, definitely. Next up, we got our brother Sharif. And he's going to be talking about fighting 2 viruses. Brother Sharif.
Right on. Peace, family. We are, you know, we in the middle of this corona thing, and if you've been following Mile High News since the beginning of this coronavirus, you know, we gave you a lot of information in the beginning about like what's actually going on right now. Now, before anybody was talking about black people was the main ones getting coronavirus, we said on the show, like, hold up. That's what they said about HIV. It was gay white men at first, but then they flipped the script and we became the face of it. And so we gave you a warning, a heads up that they were going to do this with this disease. And once they made us the face of it, they stigmatized us. And then they unleashed a war upon the whole black community all over the United States. If they're not talking about corona, they talking about some white civilian that has murdered black people, or they talking about the police department that's murdered several black people in the last few weeks. Now, they got us afraid of this coronavirus. We got to wear masks. Talk a little louder. We got to wear masks. You know, we got to wear gloves. We got to have the sanitizer. But you know that we live in this world of white supremacy. That is also a virus. So we have to protect ourselves just like you protecting yourself against this coronavirus. You have to be mentally prepared when you leave your house, physically prepared, dressed appropriately, on the lookout for all things, aware of your surroundings at all times. If you have weapons, you need to clean your weapons and get your ammo ready and get whatever weapons you have prepared, you know, to fight this battle out there, to protect yourself. We're not telling you to go out and start no stuff with people, but when people bring some stuff your way, you got to be able to protect yourself. What happened to our brother George Floyd, man, you know, this police sat on his neck for 9 or 10 minutes. And for 3 or 4 minutes, the brother was crying out for help. I can't breathe. He cried out for his mother. He said his stomach hurt, his neck hurt, his head hurt. He said, I can't breathe. He cried out for his mother. You understand what I'm saying? And through all of this, this wicked ass cop just kept his knee on that brother's neck like he was enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like he was delighting in it.
Had his hands in his pocket.
And every time the people around him say, hey man, that's enough. Hey man, the man can't breathe. The police would look up with a smirk on his face and switch positions a little bit and go deeper into the brother's neck until he was exasperated, until he died. Now, how come somebody couldn't pick up a goddamn bottle and just chuck it at the police? How come somebody couldn't just ran and just knock the police over? Just get a brother a couple of seconds of air. Maybe he would have lived. When you see a crime being committed, a crime against humanity in the middle of the street, you got an obligation as a human, Hueman, a human being, to protect your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your auntie, uncle, etc., on these streets. We got a lot of smoke for each other on these streets. Over the weekend, Memorial Day weekend, they had 30-something shootings in Chicago with 8 or 9 people dead. We don't have no problem killing each other when we think we done disrespected one another. But when it comes to dealing with these race soldiers and these vigilantes out here, we ain't got no smoke. I'm telling you, family, you're going to have to stand up and get some smoke. I'm telling you that if you see the police about to execute or lynch one of our brothers and sisters in the street, you got to jump in it. You got to catch a case. And if you do that, we got to support you. Just like they support Zimmerman. We got to support you. And that we got to be on code about that, family, to whereas these police officers is too afraid to beat one of us in public because they know they're going to get rocks, bottles, and maybe bullets flying in their direction. We have to be serious about protecting our community because right now it's open season on black people in America. They don't care if you LGBT, they don't care if you Baptist, Muslim, Methodist, Pentecostal. They don't care if you practice rishus. They don't care if you pray to Oludumare. They don't care if you pray to Shango. They don't care if you know the Netters. They don't care about none of that. Only thing they see is a nigga and they want to destroy you. Let's talk about the brother that was bird watching in Central Park. The white woman called the police on him. Now, we done found out he LGBT and he worked for Marvel Comics and he produced LGBT cartoons and all of this kind. Yeah, the brother that was accosted in the park. But when that white woman, when she picked up that telephone, she didn't say, there's an LGBT man threatening me and my dog. She didn't say, there's an intersectionality man threatening me and my dog. She said, it's an African-American male threatening me and my dog. And then the white woman went into theatrics, you know, and the Oscar goes to, you know what I'm saying? Amy Cooper was out there, yes, and the African-American man, he's threatening. She put the old white woman cry into the call and everything. She went to all of the theatrics and shit. But I give it to brother, man, I don't care what you is, you still a black man. And I just want the LGBT community to know, he did not get the police called on him for being LGBT. He got the police called on him for being an African-American male. He might not even think of himself as a male. He might think of himself as like Dwayne Wade's son, a female.
Like that intersectionality.
Yeah, but when she called the police, I don't care if that nigga was in there with painted toes and high heels and skinny jeans. She was gonna call and say there is an African-American male about to accost me. It wouldn't have been no LGBT male. So get all this foolishness out yourself. I don't care what you is. But right now, you're going to have to get you some steel-toe boots, some camouflage, some dark-colored clothes, loose-fitting, okay, to be prepared to deal with these race soldiers out in the street. Because you might have to protect your mama, your sister, your auntie, your grandmama, etc., etc. So family, there's two viruses out there. There's the coronavirus, whether they made it up or they didn't. And it's the virus of white supremacy. And you got more chances of dying from the virus of white supremacy than you do the coronavirus. That's all I got for you tonight, family. Peace. Let's take care of ourselves. Let's watch out for ourselves. And like I said, when the shit goes down, and you see them attacking black people and about to murder us in the street, jump in it. That's what Tupac did. Tupac was in the limousine driving down the street, just left a concert or a club or something. He seen the two white police officers beating and torturing a black man. He told the people, pull the limo over. And then he jumped out the car and went out there and put them things on them at first. Went out there and fought him with his fist. Then the police said something, and Tupac ran back to the limo, got the gat, and let it off, and hit both of them, injured both of the cops. And then walked away from it because the police was trying to plant drugs on, these was two crooked cops that got exposed by Tupac. But he was man enough to jump in them. Sometimes you got to jump in the middle of this shit. You see what I'm saying? I know you don't want to catch a case. I know you don't want them killing you. But it's rather to stand and fight for something than to fight for nothing and stand for nothing. You don't get nothing. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to promote violence. I'm not telling you to go out there and be violent or attack nobody. I'm telling you to defend yourself and defend your family by any means necessary, like what Malcolm X said. Peace, family.
That's right, definitely. If we don't find some kind of mechanism or some kind of way to defend ourselves, or just by getting rowdy with their ass when stuff like this happens, it's going to keep on happening, family. And we've been saying this from the beginning, just like Brother Reef said, man. We've been talking about this and others too, you know what I'm saying? We can predict the future, just like I can predict the future of this, you know? You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna do nothing but go out and then somebody gonna forgive them and the family gonna forgive them. And you know what I'm saying? They're gonna get a lawsuit and a settlement and then it's gonna be over. You know, we gotta get tired of that, fam. It's time to do something else. It's time to bring another idea to the table. Another something. So definitely. Next up we got our brother Che, brother Jesse. He's gonna be talking about the homeless update and of course Tangibles 2020. So brother Jesse.
Yes, brother. Thank you, brother Noble. And it's good to be back, family. It's been a while since we've been here. We're back. So with that being said, today there was a massive sweep along California, Stout, Champa, between 21st and 22nd. That whole area is now area restricted. So some 300 odd people have been displaced as a result of this massive sweep and this area restriction. So now they are not allowed to come back to the area. So now who's to say where they're at? The National Western Stock Show, the Denver Coliseum, and you only get in the house if you have COVID. It's cold. It really is cold. But family, despite all that's going on, we must remain focused on our tangibles. There's a big election coming up, or we're being told it's a big election. But if you ask me, I don't think there will be an election. I think it's going to be postponed, if not delayed. We have a full-fledged dictatorship up on the horizon. So I applaud the protesters in Minneapolis. I hope they burn it to the ground. And I hope these types of rebellions happen in every city nationwide. Enough is enough of this. You're killing us just because we're black. It's time we start waging back. And we have power in our vote. And that's one way we can wage back, family. Because they've been taking our vote for granted. Who's they? The Democrats. The Democrats been taking our vote for granted for 50 years now. And it's enough of this blind neglect. You're either going to produce tangibles for foundational black Americans to send us of chattel slavery, or you won't get our vote. And we just watch the Democrats collapse right in front of our eyes, family. We are very serious about our tangibles. If they do not come with a black agenda and something specifically for foundational black Americans, they are not getting our votes. And we have to be steadfast and consistent with this. See, family, they're not expecting this. They think that we're just going to huff and puff and then a week or two goes by and we forget about the whole thing. No, we are steadfast on our tangibles. If you want our vote, if you want our votes, Trump, Biden, any of the rest, you're gonna have to produce tangibles specifically for foundational black Americans to send us to slavery. The days are over of you taking our vote for granted. We have power in our vote, family, just like we have power in our money. So, the name of this game is Quid Pro Pro. If you want our votes, you're gonna have to produce tangibles. You gotta do something specifically for us. No longer immigrants, no longer these other groups, LGBTQ, alphabet soup, whatever. You got to do something for us. So Trump, Biden, anybody in your camps, you need to let them know they need to cut the check. Reparations is due, and we come to collect. Next time we come to Washington, it's come to get our check. It's 1968 all over again, and I love it. So that being said, family, stay focused. Peace and black empowerment.
That's right. Definitely. Definitely. I just want to send a shout out to all our viewers. I want to touch on our sister Tish Phipps, and she said something really amazing. And she said, what should be done right now is we should be at these protests, grabbing the passionate and willing and educating them on the art of war and how to be prepared during this time. That's right, sister. That's good stuff. And our brother Brian Franklin, he said, One love, everyone. And the panel volume was really low. Tiff Fifth said it was a modern day lynching. Our brother Amita T. Bangura said this is a sabotage to the American democracy and the Trump administration. It demands justice. Backs not to be killed like this. Okay. I kind of get what you're saying there, bro. Okay. Brian Franklin said, I just told my homeboy at least 2 hours ago, don't record me, help me. I would do it for you. That's facts, definitely. And going to the live one. I just want to touch with our people. This LaDonna Lewis, definitely I will inbox you about My High News and you know us and what we're doing. Definitely will do that. And to our top fan, Woo Woo God Man, said, nah, it's time to build a new party. So that's right. We gotta build a lot of stuff.
Join unity.
That's right. So definitely we got next up, we got our Sister Barbara. Sister Barbara came out to chill with us tonight. And she hanging on out with the Mile High crew. And definitely we're going to have the Sister Circle next week. So Sister Barbara will be here tonight and next week too as well. So she's going to be speaking on righteousness for Black people. So Sister Barbara.
Well, I want to thank you, Brother Noble.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mile High News. And thank you, Sharif, Che, Brother Jesse. And I'll have to hear Brother Sekou's wisdom after I speak. But I'm here about righteousness. Everybody touched on righteousness today. Blacks for righteousness. We're all saying the same thing as we interpret what's going on in this country. It's an abomination, really. It's an abomination. And we have to look at righteousness as a means of how we look at morality and justice, moral justice, and able righteousness behavior. What's happening is that there has not been righteousness for Black people by some mean-spirited, and let's call evil people evil who gonna kill somebody, like that policeman in Minneapolis, putting his knee on somebody's neck so somebody can't breathe, and a person is begging to breathe. So right in there's something, there's no morality, moral, righteous, just behavior. So how can we look at someone almost ready to die and crying for a chance to breathe, and no one listens? The culprit who's doing it, the perpetrator, is that policeman. He had no right to do that. And what they do, they go fire him. We're gonna go fire you. Come on, let's do something better than that. You know, people out there burning down, protesting. Fire can either make things hot or fire destroys. That's what fire does. And so it's a hot situation out there. And what has to be destroyed is the racism. What has to be destroyed is the evilness. What has to be destroyed is that cavalier, I'm going to do whatever I want, I'm going to shoot you and kill you, and nobody better not say nothing. When people say something, it chose to be ignored. I think it's time for officials to get real serious about, I don't want another apology from somebody, some white girl calling somebody who is a Black man looking to watch birds in the park. No, you didn't have no business talking to him that way in the first place. Really. He wasn't bothering you. He telling you what the law is. So that's the righteousness, because we have to address, as the brother said, speak out. Pull out your phone. Make some noise. You know, they walk around talking about, if you see something, say something. We seeing something, we saying something. Because that's our righteousness. Every time we get ready to move the masses, listen up. We get ready to move the masses of humanity into a space of understanding that what looks right is wrong. And what's wrong is that people thought it was right. Now, is that a tricky question? No, it's just the truth of what's going on. So we, as black people, we are about the righteousness. We're about making sure there's the fairness and there's the kindness and there's the compassion. Those things are available. We're looking at the whole spectrum. Yes, that has to occur. The compassion and the peace and the love and the grace. And it is going to happen because this is what we're about. This is why righteousness is so important, because we have to speak on the justice. It's just us sometimes, you know. But not anymore. Not anymore. Now we're seeing that it's impacting so many of us. It's not isolated. That's the beauty of social media. We can see it right away. Real time, nano. How many people watch Mork and Mindy? It was nano. We nano now, okay? We are watching this horrible injustices that are occurring. And we are speaking up, speaking out. And like my brothers are talking about lock and loaded, we really need to be about knowing how to use it. A gun, a pistol. It's time. So I want to thank my brothers for this real time, real mile high news. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you, Sister Barbara. So yeah, man, we just gotta stay focused, and you know what I'm saying. It's kind of, we're kind of moving past this, you know, turn the other cheek kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing that for years, and this stuff's not working, man. It's either time to get rowdy, or it's time to just separate ourselves. And like we said, we're not trying to, you know, make anybody go out there and go do something, but you know, something got to be done.
Defend yourself.
That's right.
At all costs.
You know what I'm saying? So, the next up, we got our brother Sekou and Sekou's Corner. So, brother Sekou. Right.
Are you mad enough? Are you mad enough? Well, man.
Make sure you talk that too.
Yeah, here we go. We are at war. And you cannot win a war playing self-defense. You have to have an offense. Just like in Vietnam, they wasn't playing for self-defense. They come to put you out their house, which means there's an offense. And they were organized. Small units, hit and run, weaponry, food supply, medical supply, and they had an exit process. And then there was the political end of that, where you had their political party, who was at the United Nations fighting for the right to have self-determination and their land free. And so they had a political arm. The root and the basic tool of that is they had a code of conduct that came from their culture, which demanded that they fight for their land. Period. And they waged war with the Chinese, they waged war with the French, they waged war with the Japanese. Whoever came inside their boundaries, it was on like popcorn. And folks who came up in there know that to get this ass, we're going to have to give up some ass. There's going to be some bloodshed here. And the question for the Vietnamese people was, our willingness to die for our freedom and liberation is going to be greater than our enemy's will to kill us. We will send him back home. In a box. Yeah, in a box. And it was by any means necessary, and they had no technology. They had no air force. They had no navy. But they said, when you step down on the ground, that ass is mine. Period. And there would be bloodshed. And they would practice with a bow and arrow and a blow dart. And you could come slurring on down that path if you want to, and you'd be then dropped off into a hole with bamboo stakes with chicken shit all over. See, they wasn't playing. And their commitment was to life. And in order to live, if I got to die, then let's do it, because I'm not going down by myself. See? But that comes through a process, and that comes from a culture. And so where are we at here today? America is the most violent culture ever since the Roman Empire. And they don't just do it here. They do it wherever they go. There's mayhem, bloodshed, murder, biological and biochemical warfare, and they're out to kill democratically elected governments who are not in bed with them. So that means they nullify your democratic process of your own vote. You kill the one I voted for, you just negated my citizenship, Jack. I can't have that. I can't have that. And so right now as we speak, there are laws on the books that are not being enforced. That's murder. That's a conspiracy to commit murder. When you have the law and then you violate the law and you're supposed to be the law enforcer, are you kidding me? Oh, no. And so no, we've got to organize ourselves to patrol the police. See, it can't be no individual act because they operate as a crew. So if you shoot one, they got some coming because somebody gonna call the cavalry. And then you be up there by yourself, Jack. So you have to be more strategic than to respond out of some feeling of jumping up in there, because then you jump up in there and then what? You ain't got no lawyers, you ain't got no bills bombing, you ain't got no money to fight the case, and now you think you're going to get out of the jail alive when they take you up in there behind closed doors. See? Because they're all a part of the same organization. And their organization is committed to killing you, and that's why 90% of the police come out the military. They didn't just graduate out of high school. They wasn't cum laude. They was lottie. Here I come, ready or not. See? And so they're trained killers. And we have not been trained to kill our enemy.
Just each other.
See? And that's not even the enemy. That's a waste of ammunition shooting another brother or sister. Are you crazy? You need that for your primary force. Because you got someone out there, organized entity that's out to kill man, woman, and child that's black, Jack. And to create fear amongst all the other interconnected folk, that if they do that, niggas like that, you know we ain't got nothing coming. See? And they the first one to jump out and talk that peace shit, but they the last motherfuckers to get on the front line to confront the police. You kill 2 white folks, that's like killing 1,000 black people. See? Yeah, because now you don't know whose son or daughter that is. It might be a congressman's son or congressman's daughter, or one just in the neighborhood come to get high and got caught up. See? But their code of conduct is one that allows them, without any conscience, to murder us straight up, Jack, politically, militarily, economically. I mean, let's go through the list. So now the question becomes, how do we begin the process of organizing ourselves to overthrow our oppressor, period. See? Every morning I wake up in the morning, I'm prepared to come back the same way I left. And it don't matter to me what I got to go through to make that happen. I'm coming back home, Jack. And it won't be laying down. And so I take my chances with 12 jurors before I will 6 pallbearers. And we can do this. And I just can't walk by and watch him get you. I know I'm next. It's just that simple. It just depends on what day. So I have to be very strategic when I make that move so that I can come back tomorrow and do it again. And again, and again, and again, and again. Over and over and over and over, like he does it every day around the clock. And if I'm not organized to do that, then guess what? So what? So what? So what if George dies? So what? Better him than Nate. See? So what about the sister? Better her than me. See? And that's the coward in you. And that's taught. That is not your culture. We are the first ones who defend liberty for others and the last to defend our own. We'll be the first to create a sanctuary city for others, and we can't even do it for ourselves in our own home, much less a hood. Let your money get crazy up in the house and you got guns up in there. Ain't nobody calling the police. They call them Pitkin. See? But mama gonna make sure she got a burial plan so she can get a check. So we have to be committed to life. And we have to be willing to shed blood in order for our life to be worth living. And since they're gonna shed our blood anyway, I'm not going and organize it. And get it on over with. Why we got to continue to nickel and dime this? Well, we shoot 10 cops in Dallas, and then we shoot 3 or 4 over there, or we'll drive by and do a bazooka hit on a police station, but nothing on an everyday, consistent basis like our enemy. You don't do that. You can't equal that force. Then you better get organized, because when you make that move, it's on, Jack. Till there ain't no more sunshine, rain, or snow, or clouds in the sky. Until you win, there will be no quit. None. And if you quit, that's AWOL, which means we need to take care of you right now on the friendly fire. See? Because there ain't going to be no getting out. And since we already in it, then we might as well just go on and get it on. So go on and get it on. We got to get it on politically. Yeah. So that if you, police, shoot an unarmed citizen, that's a death penalty, Jack. And there won't be no compromise in none of that. And you will not only be fired, your ass will be locked up that day.
Right.
With no bail. See? And then, things happen in the jail. Folks come up missing in the jail all the time, Jack, including the property of the dope and the guns and everything else. They still come up missing in the police station. So if you get come up missing, that's normal. See, Mr. Policeman, because you put your leg in your pants one at a time like I do, Jack, and ain't nothing divine about you at all. So when I leave the house every morning, I go looking for it. I hope you do. Police come down the street. I'm waiting. Here I am. I'm dressed in white. Here I am. You see me? Come get me. Come. I hope you do. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, because we might as well just get it on and get it on done with. Because I'm not living like this. Ever. In my life. Never. And so as we go about doing it, because I'm beyond mad, really. Because for every time you do this, it raises the consciousness of our people who don't believe you are who you are. And as Malcolm X once said, if the white man ain't the devil, then until the real deal comes along, that motherfucker will do it. And if he put his hands on you, make sure he never put his hands on nobody else. Take him out. Take him out. And then once you level the playing field and the blood is flowing, then folks will want to come to the table and they want to talk about it. You know. And that way we'll have R3 come and negotiate. You know, because he's the kind of legitimate person. They won't allow me in the room.
I'll be glad.
Because I'm about to shoot everybody up in there just for showing up. And so we'll continue on, and our people are coming together. We're becoming more conscious. And whether you know it or not, we have black folks in this town today who have a gun club, and they're organizing our people on how to shoot at the range legal shit. Yeah. And illegal shit. Because your ass don't know the difference between a hole in your ass from a pistol that you did from a, what, AK-47 or a bazooka or a grenade. See? Dead is dead. And that's what needs to be said. You kill us, we will kill you. The price of black blood went up. For every one of us, it's going to cost you 10 of yours, Jack. Now let's do that and see how that rolls for a minute. And black folks, don't get scared. Don't get scared, because we ain't out to get you. And the ones that you're scared of today might be the ones who will save your life. And so no, we're not telling you what to do. We're telling you how it's been done historically from day one. Self-preservation is a principle of life. And this is about the life. And so for all of us who die, good. Because that sets it up to make room for that which is coming in the maternity ward. So instead of y'all going home tonight jacking off, Jack, you better get with it for real and get us another body in the game. And then take care of that. That's all I got.
That's what they say too. Yes. Yeah, look. Yeah, so fam, you know, that's why we did the live show tonight. We want to holler at y'all. So I'm going to be shouting out a lot of people. Our sister LaDonna Lewis said, preach, brother. Woo-woo, God man said, tell the truth. Woo-woo, God man said, I bet it stopped then. I advise every black person on this planet to get life insurance on their life and children's lives for at least $100,000, and I guarantee you that will stop some of that killing. I mean, see, that's a plan, and that's what I aim to do here on Mile High News. I just don't want to, talk about the problems and stuff. Let's come up with a solution, man. Right. How long have we been talking about the problem?
Exactly.
That should be our focus. You know what I'm saying? Of course we know the problems. We see it every day on the news. We know that they're killing us every dang day. Let's find a solution to where that don't happen no more, fam. Or we're going to keep on experiencing it. So I'm going to open up the room, peace to the fam, and what y'all want to talk about?
Well, I would like to say something.
There goes Sister Melly. Sister Melly, put it on.
Okay, I want everybody to know that at the Vanguards Online Academy, we will be working through the summer. We're not taking a summer break. Learning occurs daily, 24/7, 365 days of the year. We are building there. The children are very active, involved. We want other black families to understand it's time to educate your own children. If they don't have knowledge of themselves, if they don't know how to maneuver in this world, they will get eaten up. We are here to support any black families that are ready to take this step. Stop being afraid. Stop making excuses. We have to build institutions for our children, for our people. Those are solutions. Stop playing and stop being so scared of changing and doing the work. We have to put work in. We cannot keep sitting back waiting for somebody to give us something. We have to be the ones that make that move. And we are available all during the summer. You can reach us at the Vanguard's Online Academy 21 at gmail.com. We have links out everywhere. Let's start working toward a solution, people. We don't have to keep taking this laying down. I'm not. I'm focused on our babies. Our babies need us, and we need to start making changes.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Part of
I
that
definitely
curriculum has to be
check
on
out-
the science of art, the science of art of war. You cannot raise those children without teaching them what they're involved in. All right, and that's got to be at the top of the curriculum, along with reading, writing, arithmetic, and computers. All right, the art and science of war. If that's not in the curriculum, then that's not black, and that's not centered, and that shit is the same bullshit they can get from the Peckerwood.
Well, ours is African-centered, the art of war, the STEM program, mathematics, science, reading, African records of our past, our history. We are doing all of that because we are raising the leaders of tomorrow.
Well, in that case, I'm ready to come back to school. I mean,
Well, come on.
But
Come on.
y'all let all
We
the
learn
folks in
every
there?
day with our scholars. We
Ain't
learn
no
every
age
day.
limit on kindergarten, is it?
Come on over, Brother Sekou. You got to lead that language, though.
Yes, ma'am, I'll be good.
But we're talking about organizing, right? We're talking about
Yes, sir.
organizing, coming together to do something productive.
Right.
And we can organize, because a lot of people here organize, they think that all black people in this country got to come together and organize under one banner, and we don't have to do that. We're not going to do that. But the point is to organize with like-minded people who think like you. And, you know, I've been in groups where it was small groups with 5 to 7 people that they got more done than 30, 40 people in a group. But it's how you organize and come together. Like we came and organized, 6 months ago to start this program. We started this program to disseminate information that was pertinent to black people. Not nobody else, but to black people. And we've been able to be consistent in this organization that we've been created. Now, Brother Sekou was right. We need organization when it comes to dealing with these pigs on the street, these race soldiers, and these vigilantes. We do need organization. But what I'm talking about is when you out there as an individual, you better be ready to get down on all types of different circumstances. Because a lot of times we're not moving in the pack. We moving by ourselves or with our family or with our children. So we need to be prepared on every level, whether we individual or organized, to deal with that. But we need organization because we need to have monthly, bi-monthly meetings to plan and organize our future. What this brother is doing down in Southern Colorado is a manifestation of organization that came out of this and things that's been in his mind. So we should support that. Let me say this also, man, that we've been doing this program for 6 months. And we don't get a lot of donations and cash apps on this show. But we need them to keep this show going. So just like you donating to Michi X's show and to Tariq's show and to Brother Jeff's show and this brother and that brother's show, donate to the Mile High News. Donate to the Mile High News so we can bring you more of this type of information and programming that you're really not getting. You're not going to get this. You're not going to get a panel discussion like this nowhere. This raw.
That's right.
This raw. Everybody else is out there pussyfooting They cutting corners. They trying to appease people and all of that. We bring you that straight funk every week. And you can't point to one thing that we've been talking about and say, oh, you was wrong, or that's a conspiracy theory, that ain't got busted out. Because everything we told you this beast was gonna do, he's doing it right now.
That's right.
And we getting into these summer months, family, and a lot of people ain't gonna, a lot of people was taking these masks off right now. It's like, it's too hot. I gotta come out. I was at the bar tonight. They just opened the bars back up.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they just opened it back up.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. No. We out. Sorry, no.
And there was people in there without no mask. Because the human nature is
Appreciate
to
you,
socialize.
brother Brian Franklin. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Right on. Did he give some money?
Yeah.
Okay, right on. We need more Brian Franklin.
That's right.
And Benjamin Franklin.
That's Cash Out High News. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. We'll even take a donation of a box of bullets. Mail it.
Right.
And that's just like, all of my donations that I get for the Unity community, that's only going to that, fam. You know what I'm saying? But, we are an organization and we do need, you know what I'm saying? We want to get the fancy stuff like everybody else got, you know what I'm saying, on the real tip of what we're doing. But, and that's just really the thing, too. Everybody wants to be revolutionary with this and that. And you can be revolutionary with your dollars. With the dollars in your pocket right now, you can be revolutionary. And that's what people don't understand. This is what runs this dang country that we're living in. It's money. And I hear everybody say, oh, it's fiat currency and money ain't really worth that. I bet you it's worth something you gotta get your rent paid. It's best over
When you
public
need
service.
your food.
Yeah, about to turn them lights off on your ass. It's real then.
No, it is.
So let it be real for us to create something for us. You know what I'm saying?
And we can do that. We can do that. And we're doing it. All right? And we're doing it as we speak. Now, I've already made a commitment of $50 a month. Okay? I'm below the poverty line. I'm so below the line, they don't even call me for the census. That don't even matter, Jack. That's how broke I am. Right? But I can come up with the 50. All right? Every month, that's just less weed I'm gonna buy. Yeah. Yeah. That's less money I'm gonna spend in Zuzus and Wham Whams. Yep. That's less packs of cigarettes I'm gonna buy, because I'm broke. See? And when my budget's going, it's gone, Jack. You know what I mean? But I make sure that I drop that every month. And I'm asking people to do the same. See? You can do it. Now the question is, do you want to be free or not? See? Frederick Douglass once says, in life you may not get all that you pay for. And you will certainly pay for all you get, because freedom is not free.
It ain't free.
So if freedom ain't free, ain't no sense in talking about Walsenburg, baby. See? And you gotta come on with it. Otherwise, shut up. Just shut up. Get off of Facebook, all that whining and crying, and you do what you do. It's like, shut up. Just shut up. Ain't you got no pride? Come on now. You know what I'm saying? If you're not gonna do it, shut up. So you don't discourage nobody else from doing it, and get that whining ass shit off of there. Make me sick looking. I gotta go through all of that just to get one positive message. You know, all that whining and crying. You ain't get moving. Nigga, please. Where your pride at? You know what I'm saying? You might as well go put perms back in your head. You know what I'm saying? Got brain damage anyway.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at nobody. Don't get me wrong.
And I would like for everybody to check us out on the Black Panther Corner on tomorrow night. We will have the Noble Turner family, Sister Monique, young brother Jaheem. We're going to be talking with them on tomorrow night, so check us out.
I was just about to say that, Sister Melvin, as soon as I got a chance to.
PM Mountain Time. So please check us out tomorrow, the Black Panther Corner with General Melly Quinn.
That's right, definitely. I was just about to say that too. You jumped in right before me.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. So we just got to keep it pushing, family, and come up with new ideas. You know, just like I always say, if you can't go without a day without thinking about what would help your people out and empower your people, then you know what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? We are the lowest on the totem pole here. We're acting like we're the highest. You know what I'm saying? We see us getting murdered down and getting shot down every dang day. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people just thought it was just because Obama was in office and he was a black man. No, they're still killing us at the same rate.
And they was doing it before Obama was.
And they did it, of course, yeah.
It just wasn't no videotape.
It's starting to ramp up. It's like, I think it was, what was that episode? I think it was episode 4. I was talking about the Adam Waffen dudes, and I showed it. Them dudes are ramping up again. Did you see about that?
No.
Yeah, them dudes are ramping up again as one of the main white supremacists. And they're not even in just the United States. These dudes is like worldwide, I'm hearing. You know what I mean? Look up Adam Waffen.
Really?
And you know what I'm saying? It's on, I'm trying to make sure it's like episode 4. But I did a special report on that show about these guys. And these guys are you know what I'm saying, making a comeback. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you see a lot of those memes of you know, our people, you know, dancing and acting a fool and twerking, and you see their people down on the gun range. You know what I'm saying? We got to get about that. You know what I'm saying? Because just because I'm building unity community don't mean that I won't get out there. You know what I'm saying? I just choose to get it popping from our own land. You know, in a war, everybody has their own base except for us. You know, we're in a war. We don't have no base to run back to. You know what I'm saying? We don't have no protection. We don't have any allies to go to. So we need to make that out of ourselves, man. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, like I mentioned in the last report, you know, create that respect for us, you know? And what it's looking like is we don't have respect for ourselves because we can't even protect ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Just like on the video of the brother George when that was happening with the pigs. And this dude said, just stop that. Just get off of them. Please, please. Like, is that all we gonna do, fam? Is that all we can do? You know, and you know, if it was just me and you know, I could show that I wouldn't do that, then I could. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I hope I'm never in a situation like that. But if it does happen, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? And we all got to get ready. You know what I'm saying? I just think we can be at a better ready and a better standing point on our own land, on our own, you know, accord. You know? So we really got to start thinking about that. It's 2020. It should be the year of us, you know, doing for ourselves, fam. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing a lot of people growing their gardens and peace and love to that. And why come we can't do that in the community for ourselves, you know? Because that's one of the first things you have to do when you go out on your own, be able to feed yourselves. We can do that. You know what I'm saying? And we have everything to our disposal, fam. We have, you know, ancient remedies and everything. You know, we've been beating this coronavirus, and I don't care what nobody says. You know what I'm saying? I've seen more remedies and solutions in this than I've seen not.
Well, you know they've been spreading that lie that more black folks is getting it than anybody. So they came out with some numbers last week that says, as of date, that so-called 20,000 black people have died of coronavirus. But the national numbers say 100,000 people died of it. So how is more black people getting it than anybody when you got 80,000 of us that wasn't black folks that then died of it? And most of them are white. Most of them are white, family. But see, how America works is they say if 20,000 black people died and 80,000 white people died, they say, well, this, 40 million black people in this country, so the disease is affecting you disproportionately. All right? And they say it's 200 and some million white people and only 80,000, so that means we was only affected 16%. But you guys were affected 40%. You see what I'm saying? They playing with the numbers.
That numbers game, you know.
And half of the black folks that didn't so-called died of this corona, didn't die from no corona. They just
No.
put that shit on your death certificate.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't get shot or stabbed or hit by a train or a bus, they was putting corona on your death certificate. And I seen them do it to a sister in the Muslim community just a few weeks ago that was in her 80s. She passed away. She had a history of respiratory problems and lung problems. So she already had the symptoms of the corona for 15 years. She's been in the nursing home. Now, they had been testing this sister all throughout the beginning stages of coronavirus. She's quarantined in the nursing home. She's social distancing and this and that. And the last test they gave her, the test come back positive, and she died 2 days later. Well, what staff member gave her the corona?
Right.
But she wasn't getting no visitors from outside.
What they pump into her.
Yeah. So, this whole corona stuff, man, and who's dying, Colorado had to adjust their numbers just a week ago.
Yeah,
You see,
for real.
they were saying that 10,000 something people in Colorado had died from coronavirus or something like that. And they had to adjust them numbers because the dude down in, I think, El Paso County or something had busted him out and said that homeboy, he said homeboy died of liver failure or something for drinking too much, and they put coronavirus on.
And look here. Well,
Like
see, we gotta look
Because
at
they get paid.
yeah, but
Because
we
they
gotta
get
look at that.
paid.
We gotta look at that. See, that's when the mindset has to change. It's like, look, if 80,000 white people died today, and none of them cared about the 20,000 black people that died, I would say, so what? So what they died? Where is my self-respect and self-esteem at that I care more about folks who don't care nothing about me and mine? See, that's the insanity. If 800,000 white folks died today, so what? So what? That leaves us the possibility of getting a job? What? What are you talking? They need us now, huh? I mean, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about nobody who don't care nothing about me. Period.
You ain't supposed to.
Period. And if you don't care nothing about me, I know you don't care nothing about my family or my friends and none of the rest of that. So I'm telling you straight up, I'm in pursuit of a prostitute. All right? Her name is Rona. The disease, that's my girl. Handle that. That's less cases I got to get. That's less folks I got to kill that don't care about me. All right? And I'm running for the United States Senate, so that's less white folks that I got to represent. See? And so it's all going to work out in the end, Jack, because you're going to get it the way you bring it, Jack. You ain't got nothing coming here. I'm running on a black agenda, and we're coming to take it all back. All back. See? We want the reparations, yep. And not just that as a down payment. We want all the money. Every dime that exists, including the paper that ain't been printed yet, we want that too. We want that too. We want it all back because we do that. And because we have justice, we'll give folks a little something every here and there. You know what I mean? Act like they got some sense and show some appreciation for our contribution. See? But we want it all. We don't want a peace. We don't want no equity. We don't want no intersectionality. We want it all. And then all of y'all don't like it, y'all can leave.
Yeah, my brother Brian Franklin said the doctors get a lot more money for COVID-19 deaths than any other death. That's why they masking it.
And they silencing all that. You got some doctors and nurses out there, man, that know what's going on, that's trying to speak the truth, and they being censored. You notice how don't nobody talk about 5G no more? Not that it wasn't relevant, not that it wasn't true in some aspect, but if you got on Facebook or YouTube and talked about 5G, they censored your stuff.
They take it off.
They took your stuff off.
Yeah.
And so that's how they doing it now, family. If you bringing up a narrative other than what they're pushing, they are knocking you off social media. And so we need, like Brother Sekou said, organize. We need an organized platform that we can, that's a backup to what we doing here on Facebook, a backup to what we doing on YouTube. You know, I be studying these white boys out there like David Duke. They struck all his videos. He had 10, 15 years worth of videos on YouTube.
Really?
They took every last one of them down. But the white man was smart because when he recorded them videos on there, he kept one for himself. He just built him a website and built him up an archive of all the
Right
stuff.
on there.
So now when you go to YouTube, you got another video saying if you want to hear David Duke, then go to www.whateverdavidduke.com. That's what we need, a backup. We need a backup where people know where to go if we not even on this platform. Because family, we might say some shit one week that, hey man, we can't let this broadcast go out.
Shit, we might be this one here.
It might be this one
This
here.
might be the
This
week.
might be it.
So instead of this,
We always on YouTube. We always will be on Patreon too, fam.
hey, so yeah, you gotta know
That's
where
all.
else you can get this information in case they strike all of us. Cause me, Jesse, Say Cool, I don't know if they kick you off of Facebook a lot, but we get kicked
I
off all
know,
the time.
and that's the crazy part. But see, me, what I do is you know, I don't want to say I spend a whole lot of time on there, but when I'm on there, fam. So that means I'm checking all my friends. I'm deleting everybody who's talking stupid stuff. I'm definitely ain't accepting no white people at all. No white people at all on my page. Check it if you think I'm lying. And that's what a lot of people don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Watch your page. You know what I'm saying? And they still have access to it. They'll still be looking. But at least you know it's some other kind of shit if they do. You know what I'm saying? I make sure that anybody who comments, I go in their history. Make sure that they've been, you know, posted for a little while. Before I accept a friend, I go down their timeline just to make sure. You know what I'm saying? Facebook is really, and any other social media platforms is all we got for now, man.
You right, brother, because
It's all we got.
I had to delete some people, man, that I had been friends with for like over 10 years
Talking stupid.
on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, you know, they was like, anytime that I would post something about like, you know, how they are feminizing black men or forcing this lifestyle on kids, these people be like, you're a homophobe. You're a this and that. I'm like, dude, you know me in person, other than Facebook. Why is you stepping to me? Like, I ain't never been pro whatever that is. I've always been consistent
Right.
about my program. So what, you know, and so I just
And
got
that's like too, when you post stuff, make sure that you go into that little box where it just says friends. Don't post your stuff to public stuff, because if you do that, anybody can see it.
Yeah, that's another thing.
You know what I'm saying? Don't post public, post friends. But I'm telling you,
Yeah, we do need to get more strategic about how we do
I'm telling you, they
it.
do it. You know what I'm saying? If you get into, you see
Yeah,
these
'cause
little
these
white supremacy groups,
they be having some secret
They
groups
have
out
about-
there.
This is what I can't understand. I got 5,000 friends, and I got 6 Facebooks, right? I didn't know what I was doing, right? Each one got 5,000 on it, all right?
Right.
Now, what I don't understand is that when I post up something, right, nobody comments. I don't know if they scared or what. You know what I'm saying?
Half of that is Facebook suppressing it.
Yeah.
All right, because
Man, I went on people's things and tried to like something, and I pressed the like button, and then the like would come up for a second and disappear.
Yeah, I didn't have that happen too.
Right.
I
You
didn't
see
have
what
that
I'm
happen too.
saying?
Or you try to share something and it'll just
It won't go
it'll
nowhere.
keep on spinning and
Yeah, it won't
you try
go
to
nowhere.
share
Man,
it. Yeah.
you can go on Facebook.
Because
it'll be-
because they suppressing information. I'm blocked on both of my profiles. They don't want the truth.
But it be
They
people on there posting
they have
stupid
stepped up
shit.
their
Yeah.
tactics on,
And they'll
on
get
reporting us about
7,000
the coronavirus
views.
out, and they don't have
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
people to
Yeah,
look at the violations. But this is a tactic. That's why we ought to shut it down. Just leave it. Because they gonna keep doing it. They don't do nothing but police us on here. But
That's
hey,
why I'm
it is
saying
what
we
it
gotta
is.
have
Give you
another
time to think
alternative.
and read and
Well,
do what
we
you
do.
need to do.
We do have another alternative, and that's the voices that we have that we use every day. We got to spend more time talking to our people. All right, and then have them talk to their people. Everybody's got a phone. They can call up phones and have a real conversation instead of that yada yada wooty wooty da shit. You know what I'm saying? And who's gonna pay $60 a month for that shit? You know, don't call me. You know what I'm saying, with that shit. Unless you're gonna pay my phone bill. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about for real. So we got a vehicle. It's our voice. What we were given naturally. We got to spend more time talking about stuff that's for real.
Mm-hmm.
And if they bring that yada, 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 you got to spin the conversation on them. You know what I mean? You're talking about Miss Josie had a run in her stocking. You know what I'm saying? Then you have to spin that. Well, how fast was she running from the police?
Okay.
See, you got to spin it to get them to talking about George. To get them talking about somebody that you know in that neighborhood that got harassed by the police. I don't have to go on Facebook to look for no police brutality. I don't. I can hear that every day, Jack, on my phone. Because that's what we go through. It's not just no isolated incident. It's every day around the clock, more likely than not, more than 10 times an hour.
That could have happened here in Denver.
It's chronic.
Hey, let me give a shout out to Red Indian Hines. She's checking out. She says we need somewhere to be personally. Yeah, we need a meeting space where people could actually come and have an old-fashioned, organized meeting. You know, we do need that in case stuff
Unity
go out.
Community, Wasserburg, Colorado, coming soon.
Now,
And let me give Sister another shout out because she has a clothing line called Ways Out.
What is that?
Yeah, you remember how everybody used to say Ways Out back in the day?
no, ain't
you know what
nobody
I'm
was
saying?
saying that.
Yeah, you know, the
That
younger
was lame
folks
then. What
was
did you talking about? I'm just
My
kidding.
body
used to always
way
say-
out. Them E40 helmets on.
No, but that's a Ways Out is a Denver thing.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is.
No, it ain't. That's New
Yes.
York.
No.
Hey, y'all a little bit older.
Wait a minute,
bro.
wait a minute. Hold up, I came to Denver in 19, y'all was here before I was here, but I came here in 81, and the hip talk amongst the younger folks, teenagers, you know, somebody might tell her your mama joke, be like, your mama's so fat, whoopty-wop, and then when brother got mad about it, he go, Ways Out.
Oh no, you
And that
got
was
your
about-
ass
Oh,
whooped by
raise
here.
out.
Your
You
ass
know
be
what I'm
whooped
saying?
by
I thought
here.
it was raised out.
No, it's Ways Out.
Raised out.
Ways Out if somebody cracked on you or something like that, whether you did go and get mad, go slapping them, they would say Ways Out. Like back in the 70s, we'd say that and we go psych. You know what I'm saying? We go psych.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like the same concept. but
Where'd you come from?
I came from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh well, yeah, y'all do ways out.
No, Ways Out
Y'all
was
ways
Denver.
out there.
Man, will somebody
Where the hell is
please,
Wisconsin
will somebody please
Where the
tell me?
hell is Wisconsin?
Right above
That
Illinois.
sounds like some Indian teepee shoes or something.
It is. All of that's Indian.
Wisconsin?
Milwaukee, all of that.
And you Milwaukee?
Yeah.
That's why they got that nasty ass beer, ain't they?
Oh man, I don't know about that.
They got nasty ass Milwaukee beer.
But wait a minute. Let me finish though, man. This sister's got this.
Ways
line.
out.
Yeah, you got it. This sister got a line of clothing out there, man, and I bought like a jumpsuit from her about a week or two ago, man. Check her out. It's called Ways Out. It's right on Facebook. Just put Ways Out in there, and you'll see her whole line of clothing and everything like that. And she supports.
She's here in Denver?
Right? Yeah. She's loves Mile High News. Loves Black.
Sis, you want to do a commercial?
Her and her
Yeah, have her
husband
come on do a commercial.
Holla at us.
I'ma holler at her, brother.
We always do the Black Business of the Week. I can't do it no more because I don't even know Black businesses that is open.
Well,
And the ones that are open that I know about, I've already done. So I guess I just keep on doing commercials with people that already did one. Or y'all can holler at me.
Hey man,
Think about it.
you disappointed
You
me
got
not
the
knowing
genius
that
right there
Ways
behind
Out.
the computer.
I'm just fucking with you.
You
man.
supposed to know the Ways
No,
Out.
I'm just fucking with
That's
you.
a Denver thing. That
No,
ain't
no,
other
it's
place.
not. No, you
You
can't
said
put that shit on
81.
us.
I was born in 81.
So like, look, I was born when
You
you
was
niggas
born
didn't
in
even thought
81,
about.
really?
We ain't never had no shit like that in the Bible. For no Ways Out. You get your ass shot. for
Oh
some
my
shit like
god.
that.
Oh, so you know, we must have just been saying it in Aurora.
No, you brought that shit here.
Say cool then, like your
I
John
was born and
Turkey.
raised there. You ain't know, nigga. We
Come on
don't
over
know no
here.
Ways Out.
Yonder.
Hey man, when I first came to Denver, they told me that I talked like I was from Mississippi and I was from Milwaukee.
Was you proud?
You know, I had to get used to
Milwaukee's
Denver
the
when I first
Midwest.
came.
Well, how come you don't talk like that no more?
I don't know, cause I talk like these niggas out in Denver now.
See, you gotta
Big Town 303.
Raise up.
Yeah.
No, we ain't never said no shit like that, man.
Yes, you have.
No.
Man, Ways Out is a Denver legendary
It is
Denver
not.
saying.
I was
You
born
from Denver,
and
tell us if
raised
you know
here.
about Ways
I
Out.
don't know nothing
All my
about
people from
no
Denver.
Ways Out.
Let us know if you know about Ways.
I know I ain't the only person to know what Ways Out is now. Come on,
Because
man.
you're from, where
That's
was
a
that?
Denver thing.
Wisconsin.
Man, hey, there's more black folks in Milwaukee. There's more black folks in Milwaukee than it probably is Mexican and black folks in Denver.
That's because it ain't that big.
No,
It
I'm
don't take
talking
a lot of people
I'm
to
talking
fill up
about-
Milwaukee.
I'm talking about Milwaukee how many black people got Denver? About 60, 70,000?
No.
What, is it 100?
115,000.
Well, that number must have went up.
Of
I
course
thought
it
we said
did.
like
That number must have went
4%.
up.
No, it's
20,000 just came from Wisconsin up here.
In LA and Texas and everybody came
New
through
York,
when we legalized weed.
New
Everybody came
Mexico. And
Hey,
Idaho.
I bet you Denver ain't got over 100. It's only 500,000 people that live in the city and county of Denver.
Yeah, the
I
metro
bet
area,
you
yeah.
Denver ain't got over 100,000 black people.
Oh,
no,
hell
over. I didn't say over.
It's not even close.
It's not even close.
How much would
Oh.
you say? How much would you say?
I would say it's probably about 50 or 60 in Denver proper, and then you probably got another 30 and something in Aurora, 30, 40 in Aurora, or maybe 5 or 6 over in Lakewood or something like that. It ain't that many black people. It was more black people in 1981 when I moved here than it is today. All of Park Hill was black. All of the 5 Point was black, and definitely Mount Bello was black.
Oh, man.
Mount Bello right now is probably 70% Mexican and 30%
Mobelo's little
black.
Tijuana.
Where'd y'all go?
To jail, to Commerce City.
See, I was born and raised. I
Roseville.
was born and raised in Montbello.
He's
And I
not
see
to
the change, man.
To jail?
It's
There's
unreal.
so many Mexicans that go to Mount Bello High School. Black kids don't even want to go. They going to TJ or George or
yeah.
someplace else.
Uh,
So you know what I'm saying? Mount Ghetto is now Mount Barrio.
Barrio.
Mount Bello is Mount Barrio.
oh, that's all right.
You could go to Milwaukee and go to the north side and not even see white people all damn day. You ain't gonna
That's
see
crazy.
no
I
white
remember
people.
that when they had that ice, all them ice raids, man. I went to that. I was going past the little place out there on in Commerce City, the little ice holding facility. Man, it was so many people out there. It was unreal. It looked like they was having a concert in that one. It was so many people in that.
Milwaukee is the most segregated city in the United States of America. And we riot, not rally. Like Minnesota is right next to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And you see what them niggas is up there doing. Busting windows, throwing shit at the police, they rioting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's rebellion. That ain't no right.
I mean, whatever you call it what you want to, but they doing something other than when they killed Eric Garner in New York, them niggas didn't do nothing.
Oh no, they used to.
Nothing. They turned up in Baltimore with Freddie Gray.
Should they
But
turn up
New York,
in Minnesota with Philando?
yeah.
Should Philando's mama turned that mother up.
Hey, did y'all know that the guy George Floyd, he was a kid for some basketball star?
What?
Yeah, I heard that.
What? Which one?
He was a super tall brother too.
Stacey, his name Stacey Jackson.
Stacey Jackson.
Yeah, I heard that's supposed to be his brother some kind of way.
Stacey.
I don't know. He's the brother George Floyd supposed to be kin to some NBA player.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I don't, they say it was a counterfeit 20, then somebody say it was a check, but regardless of whatever
His name
it
is Stephon Jackson. He's
It ain't no
a ball
difference.
player, and he was his twin.
Stephon Jackson. Yeah, he do kind of look like him a little bit
was,
too.
yeah, he looks a lot like
Nope,
that.
look just like him.
No matter what the story is, he wasn't doing nothing that would create no death penalty. All right,
Right,
for real.
No,
So there's
No.
I don't care what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? It didn't require a death sentence.
See,
in
and,
the
and,
middle of the street.
That's just law.
and see, I really believe the virus of white supremacy is looking like this. They know that they getting hit hard with them COVID deaths, so they specifically targeting black folks right now for destruction. And it's going from the Beckys and the Susans and the Karens
By any means
all the
necessary.
way to the police and the vigilantes out there and the people in the medical industry. Let us not forget, man, that from 1992 to the year 2000, over 1 million black people perished in the medical system because of medical malpractice and racism. And straight up racism, where they wouldn't prescribe. A white woman and a black woman both come to the doctor complaining about the same issue. They get a white woman Vicodin, the this and the Percocet and the this and that, and they get a black woman some Tylenol. Because in their mind from slavery, they say black people can take more pain. White people can't. So we're going to give her more of a prescription. You damn near, to get a Percocet or anything now, you got to damn near have your head blown off or something before they give it to you. They don't want to give it to you, but they still giving the white folks the proper medication. Why is it that since this whole COVID thing been going on, how come ain't no A-list actors, entertainers, athletes, politicians died of this shit? Not one. Now I can see the athletes because they in tip-top, physical shape. I can see them not dying from it. But what about these old decrepit ass white politicians out there that ain't got it and they ain't dying? Prince Charles had it, Boris Johnson had it, Harvey Weinstein had it. How they getting the fucking cure? How come they not dying from it?
Mayo Clinic.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it go to show you that this COVID is more than political. It's financial, because it seems like if you got the right connections or enough money, you not dying from no COVID.
Right.
I ain't talking about somebody that was 89 years old gonna die any day anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying ain't no A-list people dying of this disease. And now that I really look at it, I'm figuring if this thing is as potent as they say it is, I got a whole bunch of cousins that's overweight with diabetes, got all kind of health problems. My brother got all kind of health. I would imagine people be falling off left and right around me. But I'm not seeing that. Because, see, what I think is when we were saying black people can't get this, the white folks looked at us and said, well, we going to make sure you get it. To scare the shit out of it. Because I think if black people didn't see other black people dying from this shit right now, we would be, a lot of these hunkies be ready to kill us just because we was eyesight.
Exactly.
Hands on dancing.
Bragging.
There's after every fight that Jack Johnson had.
In Shanghai, China, that's the richest province over there in China. They didn't have any death. How is it?
Exactly.
How is it?
That's
How
right
they
by
didn't have
Wuhan where it started.
death?
There's more.
And it still ain't hit Africa.
Yeah.
It still ain't hit Mexico. It still ain't hit them places, but it's hitting all throughout the United States. But I believe it's hitting the people who they wanted to hit.
It's looking very targeted for real. And it's looking more military as it goes every day because the people and the places that are impacted the most have natural resources like oil, gas, gold, uranium, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I thought we was gonna be immune because we ain't got none of that. All we got is food stamps.
I'm gonna wrap it up.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, fam, it was great hollering at y'all. I still got some comments here. Let me... Okay, yeah, our brother Brian Franklin said, since slavery ended, everybody got a check or some land. Us didn't get shit, but we the first ones they feared. God power. That's right.
Yeah, the slave owners got reparations because they were losing income.
Yeah, they got more than that too. They got all kind of land, everything.
We didn't say nothing about Joe Biden saying you ain't black if you don't vote for him.
Look, everybody just blow that. And that's what we should do. Just blow them off like, you ain't talking about nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. And our brother Quest Moore, God's gift Moore. There are a ton of us in the pen in Colorado. We need the message to reach them. And we are, from what I'm hearing, right?
No, we are.
Bro Sharif?
I've been communicating with some brothers out of Sterling. And, when the whole COVID thing was hitting, the brother was giving us the inside scoop of what was happening in there, the human rights abuses, them not getting any kind of sanitary supplies to clean themselves or themselves. And, we was telling people to put some heat and check on your family members down in these institutions.
Yeah.
They were saying that 70% of the people in the institution in Sterling tested positive for COVID.
Oh, yeah.
But they ain't said how many people died. But the thing about this, man, most people that test positive for this shit, most people live.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got better chance of getting killed by one of these white supremacist cops than the damn COVID.
And that's what I'm telling people.
Let them tell the truth.
And that's what I'm telling a lot of people, if you are diagnosed, don't just be the first one to run to the hospital and be under that, fam. Try some home remedies first, you know what I'm saying? They don't know what the cure for this is. We do. We have the cures. We've been curing stuff like this for a long time. And if you see that I'm gonna get kind of scientific on you, that they're breaking it down, the biological structure of the COVID actual disease. You know what I'm saying? It's the structure of the flu virus, of the cold virus. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say it's like that, but more advanced or whatever. But we've been curing stuff like that for years, fam. And I've seen it on there. You know what I'm saying? Just like it was nasty with the brother with all the snot. That had COVID-19, and he had some orange and lime pills, and all that stuff came out. You know what I'm saying? Just like Dr. Sadie. You know what I'm saying? He said all this stuff is related to mucus. You know what I'm saying? If you can clear mucus and get mucus, that causes over 99% of diseases and viruses in the body. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we got to research stuff like that. Don't be so quick to run to these people who don't care about you, fam. I mean, and if y'all don't know that, then I guess we just talking. We were just talking out our ass here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I got an update on the action coming up this Saturday.
What?
Yeah.
All right. So Saturday, May 30th, in front of the Martin Luther King statue at City Park, they having a gathering or a rally for brother George Floyd. And they asking for people to come out. They said if they gonna have 500 masks out there, for people who want to wear a mask there and feel safe or whatever. But they asking people to show up.
What time?
3:00 this coming up Saturday in City Park at the Martin Luther King statue.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So Denver is in the house with the protest for George Floyd. But I remember being out at City Park for Trayvon Martin.
Mm-hmm.
We went out there for the rally they hadn't even charged George Zimmerman yet.
Yeah.
We was out there in the park protesting just for them to charge George Zimmerman. Yeah. And this was like 2.5 months after George Zimmerman had murdered Trayvon. Right.
I forgot to say this. They had just dropped off on people's homes for houses that was built in Denver prior to 1952, which is most of Park Hill, 5 Points, going down to Curtis Park over to the west side. The pipes are lead and the water is poison, and it's been that way for 16 years. And if you notice, they've been digging up the streets now trying to replace those pipes that was coming in there, right?
Everywhere around there.
So what you have really right now is for the last over 50 years, you have people with lead pipes whose kids were being poisoned by that, and then it reflected in the kids' performance in the schools because the schools in this area had lead pipes too that they never took out that went to the streets, right? So you have a Flint, Michigan scandal going on right now in Brick House Town, Denver, Colorado, with poison pipes on houses that was built, and that was all in brick houses that was built prior to 1952, and they got to rip out all the pipes. It means you've been bathing in lead water, and your children been bathing in lead water. They've been drinking that mess, and then we had Negro leadership that was a part of that who didn't say nothing about it. And now they're putting filters on people's porches telling them don't drink the water.
You got one of them last week, bro.
The houses now in this area is like $500,000 and up. And these white folks has got signs going up called for sale by owner now because they're trying to get up out of here.
To be poor.
So we might get our neighborhood back.
Woo!
Yeah.
We might get our neighborhood back. Because they got 16 years to fix this. And by then, you know, it's like a lot of white folks came here, got a real estate deal, but now it don't look so good.
I used to stay on 32nd and Merriam. Every morning I went to turn my faucet on, that brown stuff came out of there from them pipes. So
They know what
yeah,
to do.
all on the east side. I mean, all of those.
The whole east
The
side.
house that I used to live in on 32nd and Marion was built in 1880 something.
Yeah.
That house is 140 years old.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And they was building houses real then because the basements is 10 feet deep.
Yeah.
The foundations are 10 feet deep. You know what I mean? It's all brick, Jack, and they ain't playing. But it's got lead pipes in there. And the city knew about it. They got a deal with EPA back in 2008, squashed it on the down low, and they had for 16 years to put it together, and they just had to start replacing the pipes in 2019. And and so you've been drinking that, and they knew that, and it still didn't mean nothing to them. And they kept that on the down low. So now you got Flint, Michigan now in northeast Denver.
That's right. Yeah, we just gotta be mindful, fam. So we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. We
Over
appreciate
100,000
y'all.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all and love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week for our Sister Circle. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow to our the Black Panther Corner with General Melly Queen. Me and my wife and my son, we're gonna be on there chopping it up. So y'all call on in, holla at your boy, and peace.
Peace.
See y'all
Thanks
next week,
for loving us.
fam.